वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जन यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Is everyone able to see the screen that I'm sharing? Or
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you. Thanks for joining. Happy Ekadeshi. Welcome to our Saturday morning Srimad Bhagavatam class. We've been past few weeks or months, we've been relishing Queen Kunti's prayers so nicely. Now that chapter is done. Chapter meaning that episode within this chapter is completed. Now we are going to get into the next phase. Uttara came, then Kunti came. Now another great hero of Mahabharatam is Yudhishthira Maharaj. He comes. This is quite an interesting episode because this tells us the condition that most of us goes through in our life, situations in our life. So with that said, let's recite the sloka before that invocation prayer. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Aharaja dharma sutah Chintayan suhridam badam Prakrutenatmana vipraha Snehamohabasham gataha Aharaja dharma sutah Chintayan suhridam badam Prakrutenatmana vipraha Snehamohabasham gataha आह राजा धर्मसुतः चिन्तयन् सुहृदं वदं पाकृतेनात्मना विप्राः स्नेहमोहवशं गतः. One or two devotees can recite.
Aharaja Dharmasuta
Dharmasutah
Chintayan Sahridam Vadam
चिन्तयन् सुहृदं वदं
Prakritinatmana Vipraha
प्रकृतेनात्मना विप्राः
Snehamohavasam Gataha
स्नेहमोहवशं गतः.
Maharaja Dharmasuta Chintayan Suhridam Vadam Prakritinatmana Vipraha Snehamohavasam Gataha Maharaja Dharmasuta
Chintayan Suhridam Vadam
Chintayan Suhridam Vadam Prakritinatmana
Snehamohavasham
Snehamohavasam Gataha
Aharaja Dharmasuta
Aharaja Dharmasuta
Chintayan Suhridam Vadam
Chintayan Suhridam Vadam
Prakritenatmana Vipra
Prakritinatmana vipraha
Snehamohavasam Gata
Snehamohavasam Gataha
Ahraj Dharma Suta
Aharaja Dharmasuta
Chintayan Suhridam Vadam
Chintayan Suhridam Vadam
Prakritena Atmana Vipraha
Prakritinatmana Vipraha
Sneha Moha Vasangata
Snehamohavasam Gataha.
Anyone online want to recite?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Aharaja Dharmasutash
Aharaja Dharmasuta
Chintayan Suhridam Vadham
Chintayan Suhridam Vadam
Prakritenatmana Vipraha
Prakritinatmana Vipraha
Snehamohavasham Gataha.
Snehamohavasam Gataha.
Thank you. This is from Canto 1, Chapter 8, 47th sloka. So let's read the synonym and the translation and purport. Aha said, Raja, King Yudhishthira, Dharmasutaha, the son of Dharma, Yamaraja,
The son of Dharma Yamaraja.
Chintayan,
Chintayan,
thinking of,
thinking of
Sugradam,
Sudhirva
of the friends,
of the friends.
Vadham,
Vadham,
killing,
killing,
Prakritena,
Prakritena,
by material conception only,
by material conception only,
Atmana,
Atmana,
by the self,
by the self,
Vipraha,
Vipraha,
O Brahmana,
Brahmana,
Sneha,
Sneha,
affection,
affection,
Moha,
Moha,
delusion,
delusion,
Vasham,
Vasham,
being carried away by,
being carried away by,
Gataha,
Gataha,
having gone.
having gone.
Translation and purport of Prabhupada. Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
King Yudhishthira, son of Dharma, overwhelmed by the death of his friends, was aggrieved just like a common materialistic man. O sages, thus deluded by affection, he began to speak. Quote, King Yudhishthira, though he was not expected to become aggrieved like a common man, became deluded by worldly affection, by the will of the Lord, just as Arjuna was apparently deluded. A man who sees knows well that the living entity is neither the body nor the mind, but is transcendental to the material conception of life. The common man thinks of violence and non-violence in terms of the body. But that is a kind of delusion. Everyone is duty bound according to one's occupational duties. A Kshatriya is bound to fight for the right cause, regardless of the opposite party. In such discharge of duty, one should not be disturbed by annihilation of the material body, which is only an external dress of the living soul. All this was perfectly known to Maharaj Yudhishthira. But by the will of the Lord, he became just like a common man because there was another great idea behind this delusion. The king would be instructed by Bhishma as Arjuna was instructed by the Lord himself. Om Ajnanam Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhavevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. The king Yudhishthira, son of Dharma, overwhelmed by the death of his friends, was aggrieved, just like a common materialistic man. O sages, thus deluded by affection, he began to speak. Okay. Now, this Aharaja Dharma Sutaha is where Yudhishthira is mentioned here as Dharma, son of Dharma. And being son of Dharma means knower of all the dharmas. But then being knower of all the dharmas, even at that point of time, one gets into a confused state of not knowing what one should be doing. One should be doing. That situation may happen to anyone and everyone in one's life. We may be a Pandit, Vipraha, we may be a learned Brahmana, but then situation may come to us in our life where we are not able to make a right choice. It happens to everyone, even to great sannyasis for that matter, whether I'm doing the right thing or not. Or even after doing some actions, one may start feeling that, did I do the right thing or not? Yes, everyone goes through this dilemma. So, the point here is that we see that there are two categories of people that we come across with. One who worries of their own actions and the reactions after the action has been performed. So a person does some action and is concerned about the action that he performed. That means something is not right. And then he's feeling what is going to be the consequence of that action. That's one category of people we come across with. The people will always talk about, Prabhu, I don't know whether I did right or wrong. Maybe that Prabhu got offended because of I said this one. I don't know what's going to happen. So these sort of people who are worried about their action after the fact, not before. They do something, after the fact, they repent about the thing and think what's going to happen to me now. I said like this, I did like this. And there's a second category of people. They do wrong things, they make mistakes, they're not worried about it. They're not worried about what they did. They're not worried about the consequences. They're free birds. They do what they like to do. And they're not worried about the end result of it. So the first category of the people who repent for the mistake they've done, or they feel there could be something mistake that I've done, they try to take action. The wise people or those people are the one who try to take a corrective measure of correcting the situation. They try to
After the action.
After the action, exactly. After the action, the person does an action, then he realizes he made a mistake, then he's worried about the consequences, then he wants to rectify the mistake by making some corrective actions, right? The other category we just saw, he's always correct. He or she is always correct. They never made mistake. Why should I even make a correction? Correction should be happening on your end, not my end, right? You should make correction. Prabhu, you should chant well, you should chant attentively, you should attend more classes, you should humble yourself. These are the lectures that this person will give. He will never see himself as have to be corrected. So this is the second category. Even among devotees, we see this is when we can see among the devotees what to speak about non-devotees then. It's so very prevalent, obvious to see outside that people always try to think themselves to be on a correct state, whereas everyone to be on the wronger side. Wronger side. So, which category that Yudhishthira Maharaj falls into? Because now the conversation and the program is going to change, already changed from Kunti Devi. Now Yudhishthira Maharaj is trying to come and tell his concern about telling that Krishna, you please stay back and we need your help more, you can't go and so forth. And the chapter ends. And the Bhagavatam only covers few slokas of this particular topic where Yudhishthira Maharaj approaches Krishna and approaches the great rishis and so forth and asks for seeks for. This happened after 1 month, by the way, after the battlefield. And then he's concerned about whether I did the right thing or wrong thing. So he's very much concerned about it, concerned about this whole action that he performed at the point of time. So he did an action. Now he feels whether I did the action is right or wrong, right? Quite interestingly, we can run parallels between Arjuna and Yudhishthira in this context. Arjuna is worried before he was getting into the action. He said, I'm not going to fight. I'm done. This is too much for me to see my friends and relatives and uncles and aunts and teachers and grandfathers and grandsires, maternal uncle and so forth. It's just going to be terrible for me to see everyone being killed. He decided they'll be killed. That's an interesting thing. He knows a great warrior is going to win because Krishna is on his side. He's pretty sure he's going to win, but then he's not happy about the consequence of action that he's going to perform. Therefore, he said that I'm not going to fight. He paused. Because he paused, what happened is that Krishna had to give instructions. And because Arjuna paused, stepped back, not wanting to fight, we got a great treasure called Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita. Now the interesting parallel of his older brother, Yudhishthira. Yudhishthira, Sthiram means determined and strong and unshakable. In what? Yuddha. Yuddha means war, battle. But if you see, if you read Mahabharatam, you can understand that Bhima goes in fighting, Arjuna goes in fighting, Nakula Sahadeva, they fight for their brother. Yudhishthira is a happy man. He also fights, but not as much you will see is fighting and going and fighting. He has brothers to go and fight for him, right? But then his name is called Yudhishtiram, Stira, but none of them is record of how many wars have you attended. You will see very less compared to other brothers. But why did he get the name Yudhishthira? Sthira means determined, Yuddha means, in this context, Yuddha means battle. In the battle is very determined. Now you have to extend that meaning of Yudhishthira means any job, any services, anything that he take is determined to get it done. Therefore, his name is Yudhishthira. He doesn't step back. I made a commitment. I will go ahead and get it done. Okay? That is why he is a great hero. He will not think, Prabhu, I don't know whether I'm in the right path or not. After chanting 16 rounds initiated for many, many years, people will have a doubt of whether I'm in the right path or not. Is this going to take me back to Krishna or not? Is this the right thing to do or not? You're not stiram, astira. You're not strong, you're shaky, flickering mind. But Yudhishthira path is not that. Yudhishthira path is once he commits himself, once he takes a step forward, he never turns back and see. Therefore, his name is Yudhishthira. But then, interestingly enough, at this particular juncture of Mahabharata, Srimad Bhagavatam, where Yudhishthira is confused himself, just like Arjuna. The only difference is Arjuna was pre and he was post. Pre-war, post-battle, post-war. That's the only thing. And the reason is that because in the before thing we got a best treasure called Bhagavad Gita, and then in the Mahabharata there is 18 parvas. Anushasana Parva is where the Srimad Bhagavatam is present. And right before right before the Anushasana Parva, there's another Parva called Shanti Parva. After the battle is done, at the time of 1 month period, 30 days time, when this discussion was happening, Yudhishthira Maharaj was confused state of why did I even do this one? You may tell this is my dharma, Kshatriya dharma, you may do all this thing, but I'm not convinced that what I did is right for piece of land. I shouldn't have done this one. Now all my relatives are gone. And mother is, Gandhari is suffering, and the Drashta is suffering, and many wives are without their husband, the children are without their parents. I am cause of all this thing. This is not the right thing for me to do. And then many rishis, you'll be surprised, who all came and gave him good advices that what he did is right thing. Just to name few. Vyasadev. Vyasadev, composer of Srimad Bhagavatam, composer of Mahabharata, gave advice. Well, you did the right thing, no problem. Forgot about Vyasadev. Vyasadev's Guru Narada Muni came. He advised, Yudhishthira Maharaj, not problem at all. You did perfectly all right. He heard everything. Not he was not respecting them, not that the instruction they gave was wrong. None of those things are the case. They gave the right instruction. He heard very submissively, but still somewhere in the corner of his heart, he was still having some uncomfortable situation. Sometimes you come and ask advice to someone, that devotee who's giving advice, genuinely give advices. And you also genuinely hear the advices. When you take the car and go, still you have the problem. Still you think that something is not fitting into that thing. Something is not right. That devotee spent 2 hours giving me counseling, and still something is not right. Right? Yudhishthira Maharaj was having the same sort of feeling. Same sort of feeling. Something was not right for him. So, just another thing is that we should understand in this particular sloka, aho aha raja dharma sutah, aha raja dharma sutah, chintayan sugurdam vadham. So he says that vipraha, prakritena atmana vipraha, O brahmana, that's what the catch is. The catch is, O brahmana. Who's the brahmana has been addressed here? So we have to not lose the track of Bhagavatam, otherwise we'll get lost over here. So the conversation is happening between Sutha and Saunaka Rishis. So Sutta Goswami is addressing the Saunaka Rishis, O Brahmanas, but then this conversation is encapsulated within another conversation between Sukadeva Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj. Right? And that is encapsulated out by the conversation that took place by Narada Muni and Vyasadeva. Narada Muni said, Vyasadeva, you have to start writing something, so you will be happy, the whole world will be happy about it. Right? This is one part of how Srimad Bhagavatam took place. Bhagavatam came into existence. Now, the interesting thing about Mahabharata, Srimad Bhagavatam is 18,000 slokas. Again, Vedas, there's Purva Bhaga and Uttara Bhaga. And in the Uttara Bhaga is Upanishad. The commentaries of Upanishads are usually found in the Puranas, Itihasas, and so forth. Puranas and Itihasas, especially. That is why Srimad Bhagavatam is a commentary of Vedanta Sutra, as they say. Right? So now, Srimad Bhagavatam is one part which is having 18,000 slokas of 18 Puranas. And Itihasas are two, which is one is Srimad Ramayana, another one is Srimad Mahabharata. Srimad Ramayana is 24,000 slokas, and Mahabharata is 100,000, 125,000 slokas. Is loaded, is heavily loaded Purana. I mean, heavily loaded Itihasa, heavily loaded. That which is not, that you, if you want answer for something, you can find in Mahabharata. And if you cannot find answer in Mahabharata, you cannot find anywhere else. That's the greatness of Mahabharata. That's the greatness of Mahabharata. Mahabharata is loaded with so much of instruction, starting from end. There is a Vidura Nidhi. the conversation took place between Vidura and Dhritarashtra. Is giving it. There is Sanat Kumaras also gave instructions. There is Yaksha Prakshna. Yaksha Prashna is where a conversation between Yaksha and then Yudhishthira Maharaj. Conversation. There are 100 and plus questions between these two personalities. And there are many such samvadam, many conversations. Beautiful conversations are there. But then of all this conversation, there's one conversation that took place in a very critical situation and critical place. We usually go to hospitals, right, to give console, to make people, the family members, comfortable because someone is lying on the bed. Can you just imagine, you go to the hospital is in a critical situation, you go to that person and that person start giving you advices. Can you imagine something like that happening? And that's exactly what happened over here in Mahabharata and Srimad Bhagavatam, where someone is on the deathbed of arrows. He's going to die any moment. But then the emperor, the king, Yudhishthira, with his brothers, powerful brothers, and great rishis and munis and other kings, and including Krishna himself, coming to a dying man to get some advices. Getting some advice. Just imagine how great that personality must be. Bhishma must be. Right? So he just comes over there and then he asks a lot of questions. Three important sections that have been discussed in Mahabharata on this are Raja Dharma. Three things have been discussed in Mahabharata, in Shanti Parva. And that is Raja Dharma, how a king, a Kshatriya should be, what are his duties are, what he should perform, right? Very nice. How a leader should be. That's all described in Raja Dharma. Next is Apad Dharma. Apad Dharma means what we should supposed to do at a very emergency situation. Apad means a situation where dangerous situation or some things like that. Apad means we all understand, right? The situation where there's a difficult situation, challenging situation, emergent situation, urgent situation, where some dangerous situation, what are we supposed to do? Right? There's a third one that conversation took place. That's called Moksha Dharma. None of us are Rajas, so we have to focus on Raja Dharma. Of course, the leaders of any movement or country can learn a lot of information from Raja Dharma. Apad Dharma is not going to be our focus because we are not in danger. Right after the Bhagavatam class, today's Ekadashi, otherwise I say, Kichadi is ready. So we don't need to worry about whether I'm going to get my breakfast or lunch or whether I have a place to sleep, whether I'll be having a dress to wear. None of us are in such a situation. We are in a much more better situation compared to so many hundreds and thousands and millions of people around the world. But the problem is we are still worried about seeing people who are in a higher grade than us. We are not satisfied by seeing people who are lower than us in lifestyle they are in. But we are worried about seeing people who are higher than, oh, when will I have that house? When will I have that car? When will I have that? Right? And we are never going to be happy with that mentality. Unfortunately, we will never be happy with that mentality. Rather, to be happy of ourselves, there's one beautiful Tamil song, உனக்கும் கீழே உள்ளவர் கோடி நினைத்து பார்த்து நிம்மதி நாடு, meaning that there are hundreds and thousands of people below you, under you, in life standard, in education, in wealth, in family situation, in health situation. Many ways there are people much more suffering and lower than us, but we keep on cribbing. Why my life is like that? Why my life is like that? Why? Right? So the Apa Dharma is not for us. Those are for people who are really in a difficult situation, who are suffering in their life. Yeah. Therefore, another topic that's been discussed between Yudhishthira Maharaj and Bhishma Deva in the bed of arrows is a third one called Moksha Dharma. Moksha Dharma means it's not that what you do after you attain moksha. That is not what Moksha Dharma is, right? This is what you're supposed to do to attain moksha. You're living in this world. You're living in this world. And while you're in this world, when you're living, what are the things that we are supposed to do so that we are ready to attain moksha. That's an instruction is being given by Bhishma Dev to Yudhishthira Maharaj. Yudhishthira Maharaj. Now, again, this whole conversation, as I said, the conversation that before, how we know that the entire Srimad Bhagavatam came into existence because of Vyasadeva was not feeling happy about what he has done so far. Therefore, Narada Muni comes and tells that you got to write the glories of devotees and the Lord. That became Srimad Bhagavatam. Now, what about Srimad Mahabharata? Mahabharata is also quite very interesting the way that it also came into existence. Right? We all speak when we read Mahabharata, when we see the serials of B.R. Chopra serial and all those things. It starts from one particular section where there was a king called Santanu, and he fell in love with Ganga Devi, and then the son was born, and so forth and so forth, right? Like that. But then even before that, there's an interesting thing takes place. This is where the connection happens from Srimad Bhagavatam. There's a connection between Mahabharata and Srimad Bhagavatam, because if you remember, Parishit Maharaj is been cursed to die in 7 days by a snake called Takshaka. This was not known by Parishit Maharaj grandson. Parishit Maharaj's son is Parishit Maharaj's father is Abhimanyu. Abhimanyu's father is Arjuna. Arjuna's son Abhimanyu. Abhimanyu's son is Parishit Maharaj. Parishit Maharaj left the world and he had a son called Janamejaya. Janamejaya was growing up, but then he was unaware of the situation of the whole story of what happened in the past. But then somehow or the other, he learned that a snake came and bit his father. He became so ferocious, so very angry, so very upset. He did a special yaga. That sarpa yaga. What sarpa yaga means? You bring in all the sarpam. Sarpa means all the snakes as a sacrificial thing into the fire. Kill all the snakes in the entire creation. That's what he did. He was so angry. He was reacting to the situation of what he came to know about what happened to his father. Therefore, he was reacting to the situation. So he said, someone was cause of my father's suffering to cut my relationship with my father. So therefore, I am to kill that person. That is a Takshaka. So long story short, he was not success. He was success in killing many snakes except Takshaka. Takshaka had a good relationship with Indra. Therefore, Indra saved Takshaka. And anyway, that's a little bit of story, but that's not where I want to go. Now the point here is Janamejaya was so very busy with his administrative stuff as a king. At that point of time, what happened was Vaishampayana, a great rishi, Vaishampayana comes. He says, Janamejaya, I have something to share. Sri Krishna Balaram Nitai Gaur Nataraj Ki Jai. So Janamejaya, Vaishampayana comes and tells that I have some important message for you to share. I'm going to tell you some stories. Stories? What is it? Well, it has 18 parvas, 125,000 slokas. Are you ready? Come on, I'm busy, man. I cannot do that. I cannot sit and hear for 125,000 slokas and 18 parvas. It's not going to be possible for me. What about one parva? Janamejaya Vaishampayana said, what about one parva? He said, one parva is also not possible for me. I cannot do this one. He said, what about one adhyaya? He said, please don't disturb me. I have a lot of things to take care. I have to take my children to Kumon class. I have to take my car for services, and I have to do my shoppings. I have no time to hear adhyaya also. What about one sloka? And then Vaishampayana was insisting on what about one at least one section of one message I will tell you. And then Janamejaya thought a little, he thought if you have to give respect to someone who was coming down from 125,000 slokas to one sloka, one part, at least I have to respect that person so that he can go off. I can go do my duty, he can go off. But that point of time, then Vaishampayana, then he said that Vaishampayana said that even after hearing about the story of Suyodhana, and Dasanana. Suyonana, who got defeated in Go Grahana. And then whereas the Dasanana, who saw the power of a monkey in Lanka, even after seeing these things, they went and killed themselves. I'm done with my point. I'm going now. That's what he said. And at that point of time, Janamejaya said that I didn't understand whatever you said. Who is Suyadhana? Who is Dasanana? What is that Gograhanam? And what is this Lanka Vadhanam? What is all this thing? Well, if you want to hear the details, then I have to tell you all the chapters, all the parvas, 125,000 slokas. You have no time, so I'm going to go. No, please tell me. My head is breaking now. You better sit and tell me what's happened. And that point of time, the entire Mahabharata was told to Janamejaya, Parashik said. At the end of this is an interesting thing. At the end of telling all this entire Mahabharata, what happened is that Vaishampayana asked Janamejaya that I have told you everything that you need to know. Dharmacha, Arthecha, Kamecha, Bharata Rishabha, Mokshesha, Bharata Rishabha. He says, I've told you about Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha. There is nothing left out of this four Purushartha. Out of whatever I said in this four, which one do you really like? Usually after the class, you ask, dear Prabhu, what do you think about? What realization do you have? What did you like from the class? Like that, Vaishampayana was also asking that, what did you like out of this four? An interesting answer that Janamejaya gives that, I didn't like any of this four. I didn't like any of the Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. How is that possible? You have to like something out of it. There should be something that you really like. Yeah, I like something. Tell me what you like. I like one thing. I request you to repeat the Mahabharatam again, where I can hear again. Shravanam, right? I like to hear again what you just said. That person who didn't have even time to listen one sloka, now is ready to sit and hear again 125,000 slokas. That's the greatness of Mahabharata. And that's the greatness of the Acharya, that's the greatness of the Guru, who conveys the message in such a way that even people who are not interested to hear will come to hear. That's a technique. Sometimes people have wonderful knowledge, great intelligence, but they don't know how to deliver the message. They will deliver the message which you hear the first time, you'll run away. Prabhu, you have to be devotee. Wear saffron cloth, shave your head, have shika, forget your father, mother, brother, sister, everyone. Join ashram. He's the first person who found me for the first time, who just joined the school. First semester, he just came from India. You go and tell this thing to him, become serious. He'll become serious not to come to this temple anymore. Right? Therefore, acharyas are in such a way that they know how to convey the message in a way that people are able to accept willingly, not forcefully, willingly. They accept these things, right? Therefore, Bhishma Dev was such a great scholar, such a great person. He was conveying the message, but his messages was like a short messages because he have very short time to live. He has to go, and it's an instruction and service given by Krishna to Bhishma Dev, where he has to convey and clarify all the doubts that Yudhishthira Maharaj had. Now I'm just going to give a glimpse of the conversation and very, very few slokas of the conversation that took place between Bhishma and Yudhishthira Maharaj in the battlefield, with a section in the Shanti Parva called Moksha Dharma. Right? Because as per the sloka, now Yudhishthira is going to express his mood of uncomfortable situation of how he feels. In life, we should have someone. Sometimes what happens is there are devotees who think they are very great, and why should I go and talk to someone about my problems? It's not that we become a complaint box or a cribbing box where we always, whomever we go and see, Prabhu, I have this problem. Hi, Prabhu, I have this problem, this problem, this problem. But you may have someone in your life whom you trust, you like, you feel, of course, trustworthy, where you can open up your heart and speak to that person, knowing that this person is trustable. Trustable means you don't hear from me and go and tell to other Prabhu. You know that he himself has so many problems. He's giving class today. He's giving class to me. He himself has a lot of problems. He is giving advice to me. And whereas I opened up to you, Hare Krishna, this is my problem. I don't know what to do. And you tell, Prabhu, why don't you also do this? Right? Therefore, we should, everyone in our life, the danger in Krishna consciousness is when we cut off that relationship with devotees. It's a dangerous, we are entering into a danger zone where we are coming in a mode of thinking we self to be in a Uttama Adhikari, in a higher state where I don't need any guidance, I don't need any mentorship, I don't need anyone to tell me what I need to do. I know I've been in the movement for that many years. I'm this person's disciple, so and so. I'm direct disciple of Bhakti Siddhanta Prabhupada. So all those things are not a very good sign of progress in Krishna consciousness. Mm. At any stage of life, we need people around us. We need people who can give us some right thing and who are able to correct us when we make mistakes. Right? We shouldn't become Ravana. Ravana had a lot of advisors who will only give advices according to his choice. People are like that. I can only give advice to you what you like to hear. But you may not like to hear if I say something different than what you like to hear. But those are the people who are the real friends for us. But you have to have a courage to do that also. It's not possible because the problem is you cannot correct a person because there's a fear of friction, fear of loss of relationship. Therefore, we always try to hide our original message and tell something else which we are ourselves not convinced with. That's not real friendship, that means, right? That's not real friendship. Therefore, here we see that Yudhishthira had a confusion at that point of time, like Arjuna had a confusion at that point of time as well. Now, because of that, we got, as I said, because of that, Bhagavad Gita arrived, we got the treasured Bhagavad Gita, and whereas because of Yudhishthira Maharaj's situation, where Krishna put him into such a situation, we got this wonderful things called Moksha Dharma. And after that, we also got a beautiful Anusasana Parvam, that's called Anusasana Parvam, which is where he gives his final instruction of where Yudhishthira Maharaj is asking what is Kodharmam. Kodharma, we said Kodharma Sarvadharmanan Bhavato Paramamata. He says that what is Dharma, what am I supposed to do, what are the names I need to chant, what is good for the mankind. He asks all these questions to Bhishmadev. And as a result of this question, he has 6 questions. As a result of asking 6 questions, from that came another great treasure for the world called Vishnu Sahasranam. Vishnu Sahasranam, 1,000 names of Vishnu. 1,000 names of Vishnu. This is what has been given to us also. Therefore, greater than, you can go to the extreme of thinking of greater, if you keep Bhagavad Gita and then you keep this Vishnu Sahasranama in 2 plates, in a gauging plate, which will have more weight, is quite interesting. Vishnu Sahasranama compared to Bhagavad Gita. Why is what is important. Bhagavad Gita is spoken by Krishna. About who? Himself. Bhagavad Gita is spoken about God himself. Who spoke? Krishna himself spoke. Sachipraran Prabhu, I come to you and take 2 hours of your valuable service time and speak about what all great thing I have done to you and to this St. Louis, on this temple, or to the world. How wonderful, happily excited are you going to be here about me speaking about my glories to you? You're not going to be happy about him. He's egoistic. He's so arrogant. He thinks about how great he is. But I'm just giving an example. No way I am great here. But if someone else comes, and let's take someone, Ramacharya Prabhu. Someone else comes and tells you how great Ramacharya Prabhu. Ramacharya Prabhu is not coming and telling you how great he is. But Hari Krishna is coming and telling you, Ramacharya Prabhu is great, Gopeshwar Prabhu is great. Arjuna, what's your name?
Yeah.
Arjun. Hare Krishna. Nice meeting you. Arjuna, how great he is, a humble person, nice person. How nice it is to hear about glories of someone through someone's mouth, rather than I go and tell how great I am, how humble I am, how tolerant I am, how patient I am. Right? Therefore, what Krishna did is glorified himself. When you glorify yourself, people are not very much happy about it. But when someone else glorifies Krishna, everyone is happy to hear about Krishna. In that sense, Vishnu Sahasranamam plays little more higher because a devotee is speaking glories of Krishna compared to Krishna himself speaking about his own glories. That is why many people even today ask, Krishna is telling that you have to be ego free, but he's talking aham, 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 I so and so. 10th chapter fully about himself, 11th chapter is about himself, and he tells about everyone has to surrender to him also. He only talks about himself all the time. People are thinking, why is talking about himself so much? Right? Therefore, in the Vishnu Sahasranama, Bhishma speaks about glories of Krishna. Therefore, that plays more value, higher, even than what Krishna spoke in this one. Now, I'm just going to take 3 or 4 slokas from Moksha Dharma and see. So, this is all to inspire all of us to understand how Mahabharata is. What are the things in Mahabharata? It's not just only Vishnu Sahasranama, it's not only some here and there, some slokas. It's a treasure that we can learn for our life. Learn for our life. Now, Yudhishthira Maharaj is having a question to Bhishma. Hundreds of questions, by the way, hundreds of questions. We can only take few here. Hundreds of questions where he's asking Tanme Bruhi Pitamaha Nashte Dhane Nashte Dhane Va Dhare Va Putre Pitrari Va Marte Yaya Buddhyat Nochit Chokam Tanme Bruhi Pitamaha. He's talking, my dear grandfather, my dear grandfather. Nashte Dhane, the wealth, dhara, the wife, the children, all those things that we have around us are the one which gives us happiness. And they also give us sadness. When they are with us, we are very happy. When they are not with us, we are sad. Therefore, I'm feeling so sad. My friends and relatives and my gurus and everyone is gone. They are no more with us. And they're not dead. So that brings me sadness, my dear Pitamaha. He says this one. Bhishma Vacha. Bhishma says, Nashte dhaneva dhareva putre pitari va marte aho dukkha mite dhaya no shakya pachita charet. He says, my dear son, it is not someone's death and someone's birth that brings us happiness and sadness. It doesn't do that way. If someone dies, we say, I become sad. If some birth takes in the family, we become joyful. And what Bhishma Dev is telling is a very important point. That is not the case. It is not because of someone's death we become sad. It is not because of someone's sadness, someone's birth become joyful. Some happy birthday, new congratulations, etc. It's not that. It depends on the relationship that you have with that person is what is going to make you sad or happy. Yes or no?
Right.
How many people are dying in the world? I am not sitting and crying here. I'm not sitting and crying here. Right? When my father passed away, I am crying. But my neighbor is not crying when my father passed away. But my neighbor's father passed away. I am not crying, he is crying. So death itself not a cause of sadness. The birth itself not the cause of sadness. It is the relationship that we have with that person is what's the cause of sadness and happiness. Yes or no?
Right.
As simple as that. As simple as that. For example, say Hare Krishna, you're going back home and you're digging you don't have a house. So anyway, you're digging a ground to plant something, right? And if you dig over there, you'll fall down to the next apartment. Don't do that one. So you're digging something, and then when you're digging something, and you find a treasure, a pot, golden pot. Golden pot. When you find a golden pot, are you happy or not? You are happy. Am I happy or not?
If he shares, then.
Exactly. Yeah. I am not happy. The treasure that you found gave you happiness, but the same treasure is not giving me happiness. That's not going to give me happiness. Because why? I don't have relationship with the treasure. It's yours, it's not mine. It's not mine. Therefore, what Bhishma Dev is saying is the problem here is not the events that's happening around us, it's the relationship that we have with those events that's taking place in our life. Therefore, you have to address the relationship, not the events happening in the life. That's the must first message he's giving. The relationship, now he goes further into the details of where he's saying, let me tell you furthermore that the conversation that took place between Senajit, there was a rishi by name, there was a king and a rishi. They had a conversation, and the conversation is so beautiful. And he explains what is the cause of that relationship, which develops us to feel the pain and pleasure. Let me explain the conversation. The Mahabharata is always like that. It starts with one story, within the story, another story, within that story, another story, within that story, another story. Finally, you'll forget who started the conversation. That's how the whole Mahabharata happens, right? It's very, very entangled between the stories and stories and stories and stories, and will get lost. So here, the Senajit watcher, he says it, Atma api chayam na mama sarva va pritivi mama. He says, Yata mama tatanya shamiti buddhaya name vyatha. He says that you should understand the cause of all these things of which is making you feel sad, making you feel happy, is only two causes. One is called ahankara, another one is called mamakara. One is called ahankara, another one is called mamakara. Ahankara means identifying oneself which we are not to be identified as is called ahankara. I'll explain that a little more in detail. Thinking, thinking to be what we are not is called ahankara. Thinking to be something which doesn't belong to us to be ours is called mamakara. It's a negation of how we say the sentence. That's all, right? It's little changing the. I have to phrase differently. That is, thinking myself to be something else is ahankara, and thinking of someone, something, some other thing which doesn't belong to be mine is called mamakara. What does it mean? This is the base of Bhagavad Gita, right? The basis of Bhagavad. That is, I am thinking myself to be something which I am actually not. Because we are all thinking ourselves to be this body. I am male, I am Indian, I am dark, I am fat, I am thin, I am so and so, I am whatever it is, right? This is all identifying myself with the body. Therefore, we have ahankara. I, that ahankara. And what happens is that ahankara, the further expands into such a way that ahankara now thinks that because I and things that belongs to extended objects that out of me, it could be a cell phone, it could be a laptop, it could be a house, it could be a car, it could be my wife, it could be my husband, it could be my children, it could be my father, mother, whatever it may be, that all belongs to me. That is called mamakara, which actually doesn't belong to us anyway. But then when we start thinking it belongs to us, that's called mamakara. Identifying myself to be which I am not, that is, I am not the body, I'm not the body, but I'm thinking I'm to be the body is ahankara. My wife, my house, my property, my this and that, which actually doesn't belong to me, but then I think it belongs to me, that's called mamakara. Therefore, Senajit Uvacha, he says this, how to deal this one. Therefore, the relation should be understood properly that we have in this world. Where we started, we should not forget. Yudhishthira, I'm repeating, Yudhishthira said, I'm feeling sad, I'm feeling happy. When I have people like, when I have people who I love, I like, I'm feeling very happy. When I don't have them, I'm feeling sad. When I have people whom I don't like around me, I feel so unhappy. When they're away from me, I'm so very happy. Right? So this is a situation. This what did Bhishma said. It's all because of the relationship that we have with us to that person is what makes and defines that whether you makes it to an end result of happiness or sadness. That's why you have to address a relationship. Why do I get the relationship? The relationship that you have is identified because of the two factors, which is ahankara and mamakara. Ahankara, mamakara. Thinking yourself, you're thinking yourself to be the body, and thinking yourself, everything else around you to be yours. Therefore, you have to address these two things. How do I address these two things? How do I address these things? Understand that everything that belongs to you is actually doesn't belong to you. It has been given, entrusted to you to take care of those things by the Lord. The Lord has given to us in our life father, mother, brother, sister, wife, children, job, house, car, savings, whatever we have, it's all given to us. It's all given to us. We are a custodian. Custodian means we are caretaker. We are caretaker. And when we are caretaker, we have to pay more attention than we would have paid attention to our own stuff. Yes or no?
Yes.
If it makes sense, what I'm saying? You don't, if you lose, say for example, I had a diamond ring. I had a diamond ring. I lost my diamond ring. I had a diamond ring. I lost the diamond ring. Right? Uh, I don't need. I have no accountability of going and telling someone I lost the ring. I'm very sorry, sir. I lost my ring. How does it matter for you? It's my ring. You lost. Sorry to hear that you lost it. You'll walk away. But then Atulananda Prabhu gives a car key. He gave me the car key to drive, and I go back his house. Prabhu, thank you. And then I take the car and go away. It's a nice car. I like the car. I said, thank you, Prabhu. Prabhu, I only gave you the car key to drive me to the temple and take me back to the home. It's not your car. It's my car. He tells me, it's my car. It's not your car. Right? Likewise, the family that we have, the friends that we have, the possession that we have, everything is given to us as a custodian to take care of things. Now imagine how much responsibility should I have of taking care of my own thing compared to the thing that is given to us by someone else. It's the same thing. If Hari Krishna has given his gold diamond ring to me, Lal Gopal Prabhu, just take care of this one. I'm going to go somewhere, and I'll come back and take the ring. Now I can't. I can't. I lost the ring, and he's not. Oh, it's okay, Prabhu. He's not going to tell. It's okay, Prabhu. Like when I lost my ring, he didn't worry about it. But then when I lost his ring, when he gave to me for taking care of few hours, I lost it. He's going to be mad at me. Now God has given us a family. God has given us a job. God has given us parents. God has given us friends. God has given us devotees. God has given us services. Everything belongs to Krishna. That means how carefully we have to perform our relationship with in connection to Krishna. Now here's an interesting part. What's the interesting part? Now when we realize that everything belongs to Krishna, everything that I have belongs to Krishna, therefore now comes in next phase of our life. Krishna has the right to continue to keep me as a caretaker of his property, or he has all the rights to take away the thing that is given to me at any moment of time. Because who's the owner of it? Krishna. So you are the owner of the diamond ring. You can tell that I'll come and take after 1 week. And you come within 2 days and tell, give me my golden diamond ring. I can tell, as per our paperwork, as per our agreement, you have to only come after 7 days to take your good diamond. I can't say that. It's yours, you are the owner, you have all rights to give whenever you want, take whenever you want. Right? Krishna does the same thing. Then we understand this tattvam, when we understand this philosophy behind our relationship with that we have in the world, then what happens is when the objects that we get connected to, whether it's present or whether it's absent, we will take as Krishna's mercy. We'll take it. Of course, the sadness will be there. And we are all human beings. We are not machine. We are not AI programmed. We are human with emotions. Of course, the feeling of loss will be there. That is compassion. That should be there. If not, that is also not there. Then we are not meant to be human. We are rocks. That feeling is there. But the thing is that we don't carry on with the ship of worries. It's not going to take us anywhere. And this is a critical, important instruction that given by Bhishma Dev to Yudhishthira Maharaj. And then Yudhishthira Maharaj, interestingly, now says, he says, I understand that. But I feel that they are mine because I lived with them. And now he gives another analogy, beautiful analogy. He gives a beautiful, Bhishma Dev gives another beautiful analogy. Yata kastam cha, yata kastam cha, samayatam mohadato, sametya cha vapayatam tadvat bhuta samagaha. He says that yata kastam cha. Kastam is log of wood, a wood log, right? a big wood log. Like a wood log, what happens is that in those days, now we have a truck system. We have lorries and trucks to ship from one place to another place, and wooden logs and all those different things. But in those days, what they do is they cut the wood, and they throw the log into the running water. The water will carry the wood log to the different places, and then people will be standing on some place. Bunch of people, a team of people, they will put a rope and pull the wood log to their village. In those days, they used to do this one, and then they have an elephant to carry you the wood log to another place. That's how they do in those days. They cut the wood, throw it into the running river. From there, someone will be there. They will take the log and then do whatever they need to do. Now, the example that Bhishma Dev is giving is yata kastam cha means its life is like a wood log. And the same analogy is interesting in Mahabharata. The same example is given by Vidura to Dhritarashtra also, later part. Same example. What he says is, you say you cut wood logs, mark wood, the first wood log as A, second one as B, third one as C, fourth one as D and E. Now you put everything in the running water from the mountain top hill. You throw them everything down. A, B, C, D. And the next one, E, F, G, second batch is being thrown. E, F, G, H. You put the next four logs into the river. The first set is going on. The second set is following. What happens is that the rivers doesn't always go straight. Rivers bends here and there. As it bends, what happens? There is a mix and match happens. The ABC will mix with EF. GH may get to the CDEF. And they becomes one set. Another one becomes another set. Another bend happens. Again, there's another mix happens. Yes? There's always mix happens between the group of logs that's been thrown there. At the end, you never know what's the original sequence. And it'll be completely a different sequence. Likewise, in this life, myself, my wife, my father, my daughter, my father, my mother, my sister, my brother is one set of log thrown at this point of time. When we die, we get mixed to another log of another father, another mother, another brother, another sister, another set. It's another completely new set. So, my dear Yudhishthira, understand we are going through this life after life after life, Janma after Janma after Janma. And whoever is staying with us currently is not permanent, forever going to get the same set that you're going to lead this life. They're gone. They're gone is gone. And you're going to get a new life. So don't get too much attached to the people that you are having around. Rather, keep Krishna as the center of the focus. And in that way, your relationship becomes much more stronger, much more stronger. Therefore, understand, and then understand you are not the cause of it. A lot of conversation takes place, but I want to come to a conclusion to have some questions, allow for a few minutes here. So therefore, understand that establish a relationship with Krishna, and whoever the relationship that you have, connect them with Krishna. And when we see them with relationship with Krishna, and that relationship is Uttama relationship, that relationship is Atma Bandhus. Right now, what we are having is Sharira Bandhus. The relationship we have is based on the body. I got married to you, you are my wife. Because of us, we got a child. It's all Sharira Bandhus. The relationship that we have based on now is Shariram, or the body relationship. What Bhishma Dev is advising to Yudhishthira Maharaj, cut off this Sharira relationship, establish Atma Bandhus, make Atma relationship, Atma to Atma. That relationship will not bring you sadness. And even the happiness is going to be in such a way not to make you hype. Don't become so excited. Don't become too sad. You will be balanced at that point of time. So the point here is, as a concluding point, even Dharma Sutaha, Aha Raja Dharma Sutaha, the sloka says, Aha Raja Dharma Sutaha, Chintayam Sugurdam Vadham. Chintayam Sugurdam Vadham. He says, even the son of Dharma, Chintayan, started thinking, what did I do? That could happen to anyone's life at any point of time. Therefore, we need to have good people around us to help us, guide us in the right path. In the right path. Though we have to take advice, not get bewildered in our life. And also when we take advice, this is the last point I want to make, like a take home thing, is that the advice that we are taking from people or should be of two, they have to pass two things. They have to be wise and they have to be well-wisher of us. These two should satisfy. If you're taking advice from someone, there should be a wise people and there should be a well-wisher of this one. Minus of either one is not going to be helpful. Why? Because a person may be wise, but he not necessarily is your well-wisher. He may not be a he may read, he knows, give solution to the problems, he knows everything, he knows in and out of the scriptures, everything is tip of his finger, but not necessarily he can be your well-wisher. Right? Whereas take the other way around. He could be a well-wisher, but he doesn't know how to advise you. He is not wise. Many of our relationships are like that. The relations that people are really nice people. The people that we have around us are nice people. They're well-wisher, but they don't know how to help us. They may not know how to help us. Right? Therefore, it is important that we have people in our life, at least one or two people in our life, that they are wise and they are well-wisher. The both are very important in our life. Yudhishthira had that, Arjuna had that, and many great sages had that. Therefore, they have saved in their life. With that said, I will just read the translation. Aho Raja Dharma Sutah Chintayam Sugurdam Vadam Prakritenatmana Vipraha Sneha Moha Vasam Gatah. King Yudhishthira, son of Dharma, overwhelmed by the death of his friends, was aggrieved just like a common materialistic man. O sages, thus deluded by affection, he began to speak. And the gist of Prabhupada's purport is this could happen to anyone. But we should not break down. We have to reach out for help. When we try not trying to reach out to our help ourselves, then we get into a mental problem, distrust, and that may get into complexity. Our relationship will be doubtful within the family. We won't be happy within the family, with the children, with the spouse, and because we have problem inside. We are not happy. Therefore, that has to be addressed first. So we can nicely lead Krishna consciousness life. Thank you all very much for hearing tolerantly whatever little thing I could share. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. Let's see if there's any discussions or questions. Thank you. Hare Krishna, anyone online to start with? And then we can come inside.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Venumadre Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu, for the wonderful class. I wanted to thank you from the bottom of my heart, even though in the last minute I requested you that you agreed to give the class today morning. Thank you for that. And beautifully you connected Mahabharata and the importance of Mahabharata. So I learned a lot, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the opportunity. Hare Krishna. Anyone else?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. I don't have any question, but I just want to thank you for this class. And when you were saying that thing, that Yudhishthir Maharaj was saying that was still, I'm feeling that vacuum, right? Because they were mine. And you said that the fear of loss or the feeling of loss is quite human. It is the characteristic of the human beings. If we don't feel like that, then we are not human beings. So I was kind of remembering Arjuna's situation. He heard Bhagavad Gita and he said that Karishya Vachanam Tava, and then he started the war. I mean, he started participating in the battle. But then when Abhimanyu passed away, then he cried. He started crying. I mean, his Gandiva kind of fell down. So it's not that it was human beings' characteristics. I was just thinking, I was just connecting to your point that we should not think that that time Arjuna forgot the instructions of Bhagavad Gita, but that was completely normal feeling for any human being to lose a son. A son like Abhimanyu specifically. I mean, who is such a young son. So I was just thinking like that. It's not that Arjuna forgot the instructions of Bhagavad Gita, but the feeling of loss is present in every human being. So thank you for reminding that, and thank you for your class, Prabhu. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you. It's very important point, but we should not think that we are devotees. They should not. Therefore, we should not have emotions, no feelings, no crying. That's not true. That's a very fanatical thought or idea that one may have. So you don't need to suppress your feelings, but the only thing is don't sit on forever in that feeling. That's the only thing Krishna is also trying to say. Right? We love each other. I'll tell you one thing that happened in Karnataka in one of the Madhva Mutt. In Madhva Mutt, what a great one sannyasi was there, and then there was a family man. He was aged person. He lost his wife. And he decided that he wants to take sannyas. He lost his wife. Then he had nothing. He's a nice person. He decided that he will take sannyas. So he went to the ashram, Madhva Mutt close by, and he approached a sannyasi. He said, "I want to become a sannyasi. So please award me the sannyas order of life." And then and the sannyasi asked, "How do you say you're ready for sannyas?" Right? And that person said, "I lost my wife. My wife died. Not even a drop of tears I got. I didn't even cry. I'm so strong. I'm so strong. So I feel I'm ready for sanya." Who's that drawing something on the board? Okay. And then he said that I think I'm ready for sannyas. At that point of time, that Madhva sannyasi, he said, "Please go back and get married and come again after some years." He was shocked. It's an insult, right? He said, "Why do you say that? I want to become sannyasi." You said I have to get married. Well, if you cannot cry for someone who served you in the entire life, who passed away, your wife has served you for all these years, and you didn't even have a tear for what she has done for you in your life, how can you cry for the supreme God who has given everything in your life? You will not cry. Bhakti means emotions. It's not bereft of emotion. We are not in that school of thought where you should be, even you hit and you want to cry, you will say like this. That is a different school of thought altogether. There are rishis and great sages are there. They're not into emotions at all. They will just be like this. You spit on their face, you hit on them, you do something. They will not be. We are not into that school of thought. And Krishna also not favorable of that type of emotion and that type of feeling. He's an emotional personality. Krishna's emotions, all about emotions. So the sannyasi said, "You go back. If you cannot cry for someone who did so much service for you and she's no more with you, how can you cry for Krishna?" Krishna consciousness is all about crying for Krishna. If you cannot cry there, you cannot cry for Krishna, so you are not fit for being a sannyas. A beautiful message for all of us. Sometimes we take this is another problem. We all think that advance in Krishna consciousness means no love to people, only love to Krishna. Come on, that doesn't work that way. It doesn't work like that. Krishna is giving us, this is all called, like we have a dry run today in our venue. People are trying to do rehearsal and so forth. This place for us is a dry run place. We are rehearsing here how to show love to others, how to serve others, how to be humble, how to be tolerant. This is a stage work. We are doing rehearsal here. You can only go on stage to Vaikuntha Goloka when you perfect your rehearsal here. You cannot just go in. You cannot do that one. That's not going to work. It is not, like Nadia Kishore Prabhu says, they did not do any rehearsal, only one day of practice. They came into the stage. That doesn't work in Krishna consciousness.
Even there also doesn't work.
Yeah, even there also it doesn't work. That's very true point. It's nice to hear those things, but in Krishna consciousness, this place is a dry run place where you rehearsal the best that you could. When you are rehearsal to the top, the best, then we are eligible to go and do a real-time service over there in the spiritual world. Thank you, Priya Maharaj.
So, mentioned about emotion.
I will repeat what Gopeshwar Prabhu says. Try to.
Yudhishthira Maharaj is, we are seeing the Yudhishthira Maharaj is repenting, even though he's not the cause. So it's, I just remember when the great Indian struggle for freedom in Jallianwala Bagh in Punjab, General Dyer from British Army, he went into the park. There was only one inlet.
Who went to the park?
General Dyer from British Army.
From British Army, when someone went to the park.
Jallianwala Bagh in
Bagh, okay.
Punjab. He went into one, there was only one inlet. Park people are relaxed and all. He started shooting all those people. Point blank. And so many people died. Then the British government asked, why you stopped it? Something like that. He said, I stopped because I ran out of.
Yeah, one second, Prabhu. I can definitely not repeat what you asked now.
Hare Krishna.
So,
thanks for a wonderful class. And Yudhishthira Maharaj is repenting for the.
one second, all you all able to hear now Gopeshwar Prabhu's question? Online? Are you all able to hear Gopeshwar?
Yes, Prabhu, it is very clear.
Yeah, Yudhishthira Maharaj repenting for the, he thinks he is the cause of the war and so many people killed. I just remembered when in the great Indian freedom struggle in Punjab, there was a Jallianwala Bagh area, and so many Indians were having prayer meetings and this and that. One General Dyer with his army went into the park. With one entry, no exit other. He started firing all those people. They all died. And the government asked what happened, why you stopped? He said, I ran out of bullets. No emotions. Like the pilot who dropped the atom bomb in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. He said he had no repent. He was not repentant. Like the Nazis, they killed 6 billion Jews.
Yeah.
No repentance.
Yeah.
So, but they were the cause, still they never repented. So they are so big demonic people, and Yudhishthira Maharaj is not the cause, still is repenting. So I just remember this, comparison. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you. That's the greatness of Yudhishthira Maharaj. You also know the story from Mahabharata. One time what happened, they've been given a challenge between Yudhishthira and Duryodhana. You know this story, I'm sure. They said, go find someone who's a great person than you. And then Yudhishthira Maharaj goes back and I'm paraphrasing this one. Duryodhana goes and tells that I don't find anyone great in the world. I'm paraphrasing, I can't remember exactly. And then no one to be great other than myself.
Wow.
And then Yudhishthira Maharaj said that I feel everyone is great except me. Except me. So that's the mood of a devotee, how he feels. Okay, anyone else? Want to add anything?
And then Dronacharya said that.
One second.
Mike. No, and then Dronacharya said.
Mike, online people have to hear.
Okay. And then Dronacharya said, he called both of them, Yudhishthira Maharaj and Duryodhana. And then he said to Duryodhana that, you don't find anyone greater than you, he is the greater than you, Yudhishthira Maharaj. And then you said, everyone is greater than you, right? You think? He is not greater than you, Duryodhana. So he chastised students like this. So that was the nice. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Anything else?
If you got 1 minute time, I got to ask something.
Yeah.
In Mumbai, when I was attending a mind training course, this seminar, so many attended there, we are all sitting, the participants, so one partner, one partner. The speaker will say, you said one partner, I am A, is B, and he will tell, you tell B, you are a great man. And everybody must say that you are a great man. Then he said, why I am telling this? Because our mind always says, I am the greatest, all this is useless. So try to practice that, appreciate others' activities, others' characteristics, others' attributes. That will change your mind. Which can, but he was only mind trainer, but I am telling, that mind can be used in Krishna's. So we can also appreciate devotees' activities and the seva and so many things, sadhana, vairagya, tapasya, that can be used in Krishna's.
Definitely.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Okay, one last call. Anyone from online? Anything?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Well, yes,
Thank you for nice class, Prabhu.
then
I think I need to hear back your class again, like Chinmay Jaya. You spoke many things.
Sure. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. I feel like I went to Dallas for a vacation and came back.
So you must have this vacation.
I hope I don't go back to Baldwin and knock a house where someone is going to kick me. Okay, thank you. Oh,
Thank you.
yeah, Gopal.
One last one, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu, for coming here and giving the lecture. Good to see you in person. Yeah, before we have an association every day, it's very good to see you. One thing I have.
Mic closer.
Mic close. One thing, Prabhu. The Shanti Parva you are saying that the Bhishmadev was on the deathbed of arrows and he was giving. So the Shanti Parva you said is after from his bed, he gave the instructions to Yudhishthira.
Correct.
So that contained three things, three
Yes.
parts.
Yes.
Okay, yes. That has Udyoga Parva too. That's. I'm just guessing.
I don't know.
Okay.
Got it.
Those are instructions for the Raja, kings, and then what?
Raja Dharma, Apat Dharma, Moksha Dharma.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhu.
And then followed in the next Parva is Vishnu Sahasranam.
Then after that there is.
In Anusasana Parva, after Shanti.
Okay, well. Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay. Thank you all very much. We'll see you all soon. Hare Krishna.
We wish you have vacation for every month here.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
কাঁদিয়ে দিচ্ছি দেবে